Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Long Gone Loser Rock Show. My name's Damo, and today we're going to look at one of my favourite punk bands of all time, the Dead Kennedys. Discovering punk rock in the 80s was quite an interesting time. Basically, once I discovered bands like the Hard-Ons and the Ramones and the Sex Pistols, Blondie, Talking Heads, etc., I was, I guess you could say, on the road to ruin. I just wanted to hear new stuff all the time. I fell so hard into punk rock, and I was always searching for new music to listen to. Now, I'd heard the name the Dead Kennedys, and I'd seen people wearing like the Holiday in Cambodia t-shirt, and I didn't know what it was. Though. I didn't know anything about the Dead Kennedys. Like, I didn't know that, what they sounded like. I just had seen their records around, when I just started discovering music, or I was buying my own records, and I was just like, man, what is this Dead Kennedys band like? And then a friend of my brother's lent me a cassette tape with Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables on it. And I must say, I listened to that tape over and over and over and over again. I thought that thing was the greatest thing ever. I mean, it opens up with the song Kill the Poor. And when you're a young kid and you're hearing this music and you're hearing this song that's like I guess it's almost like a pop song to a degree, because it's like, the chorus is so catchy. Jello Biafra was somebody who was so good at lyrics, and one of the things he would do is, and I didn't pick up on this until I was a little bit older, because you gotta understand, I was a kid when I first heard them, and I didn't realize that the whole thing with Jello's lyrics and vocal delivery and stuff was that if he says I or we, it's usually people that he doesn't like. He's usually singing from like the government's point of view, or the cops' point of view, or something like that. And it's really interesting when you finally grasp that and you're just like, oh wow. But if I was older, I probably would have picked up on it right away. But when you're a young kid and you're trying to work out and find your way in the world and stuff like that, and you've discovered this band that's singing songs like Holiday in Cambodia, or Kill the Poor, I Kill Children, all these sorts of songs, you're sitting there going like, what? And it just took a little bit before it finally hit me, where I was like, oh wow, like this is incredible. The thing that I also loved about the Dead Kennedys was that, like, while a lot of other bands had, a lot of distortion and, the 3-chord, thing going on, like the Ramones did and stuff like that, the Dead Kennedys were kind of like so different. Like, nobody sounds like the Dead Kennedys, even to this day. And nobody sounded like the Dead Kennedys. They didn't sound like anybody else. They were just on their own. Like, you had Jello's, crazed vocal style, which is amazing. Like, the guy just had this unique sound with his vocals that nobody sounds like him. There's a lot of vocalists where you hear him and you're just like, oh, it's just a copy of a copy or whatever. Jello doesn't sound like anybody else, and nobody sounds like Jello. He's on his own. And that's so freaking cool, because he's just such a good vocalist and a great, he's great with vocal delivery. Anyway, so musically, the Dead Kennedys, again, nobody sounded like that. You've got like this surf guitar work, to a degree, from East Bay Ray, like just playing all these like really melodic harmony bits at times. It's got all this reverb on it and stuff that sounds like surf guitar, but punk rock surf guitar or something. I don't know. It's hard to describe. I mean, if you know the Dead Kennedys, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's just not a lot of distortion on their songs. It's like they didn't need that. They were just intense and, pissed off and aggravated and just delivering great songs, I discovered the Dead Kennedys that way, and as soon as I heard that tape with Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables on it, I became a diehard fan, and I needed everything. And so I'm going to go through the records now that I've bought over the years of the Dead Kennedys and tell you some stories about these records, because they're kind of cool. I'll start with the singles, and why not? Because these are the things that, you would find around. They would be like $3 each or something like that. $2, $3, $4 each at the time. And yeah, let's go through them. So here we go. I've got the California Uber Alles 7-inch, which is pretty cool. There you go. There's the back cover of it. And there is the front cover. Very, very cool. And there's the label. So that's awesome. I bought this from Spiral Objective, which is the Nazi Punks Fuck Off 7-inch there with the patch. And here is my copy of Too Drunk to Fuck, which I got from Ray's Records, I believe. No, it wasn't. It was Bank Street Records. That was just off Hindley Street in Adelaide. There's the back cover there. It says, warning, this record contains language that some people may consider smutty, offensive, and not nice. Love it. And here we go with Holiday in Cambodia on Missing Link Records. Now, this has got the letters Gosh written on here, which actually stands for a guy who put his name on the record. Not this record, but I did get 2 records. And he's written his name on the other one. It says Gosh. And I think his name was Gordon. So there you go. Gordon, I have your Dead Kennedys records. I wish he hadn't written on the labels. Because then he scribbled out on this one as well. Like scribbled out stuff or something. But I don't know. But anyway, Holiday in Cambodia with Police Truck. Really good single. Yeah. I like this die cut artwork thing. Like, whatever. This is cool. I bought this from Spiral Objective, which is like $5.50 or something like that. And it's a Dead Kennedys 1978 Demos Volume 1 7-inch. I don't know if there was ever a Volume 2. But I bought this Cold Fish. Now, when I bought this, there's the back cover there. You can see that there. Now, this is like a prized possession for me because it's actually signed by all 4 members of the Dead Kennedys, which I got done in person. The very first time I met Jello, which was after a spoken word performance that he did in like 95, I believe it was, I took some records along to get signed, and this was one of them. And I put it in front of him, he signed it, and looked at it, and was like, oh yeah, cool, and then gave it back to me. And then years later, when the reformed version of the Dead Kennedys with Skip singing came out to Australia, I went to the show, and they came out after the show and was just hanging out. And so I got Claus, D.H. Pellegro, and East Bay Ray to sign that copy. So that was pretty cool. And I have this Dead Kennedys original singles collection box set of 7-inches, which I bought really cheap. It was, you know, those websites like Pop Market and Import CDs and things like that. They were really cheap. They had like I guess I got a bunch of them, and I was just trying to get rid of them. I think this is like $40, like Australian. So here we go. This is the booklet that comes with it. It's got some liner notes and stuff written by East Bay Ray. This was released, I believe, on that Manifesto Records, which I think is their, like, East Bay Ray's record label or something like that. Here you go. Nazi Punks Fuck Off 7-inch. Kill the Poor 7-inch. California Uber Alles, Man with the Dogs, Halloween, Saturday Night Holocaust, Too Drunk to Fuck, Police Truck with Life Sentence, and Holiday in Cambodia with this fuck up on the misprint on the cover. There's Police Truck on there. I probably wouldn't have bought it otherwise if it was expensive, but it was cheap, so I just grabbed it. Now to the LPs. The first LP I'll show is obviously the first album that got me into them, which was Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. Now, this one again is signed by Jello Biafra, East Bay Ray, and Claus. So there is Jello's signature on the cover, and on the back cover, signed by East Bay Ray and Klaus. Pretty cool, and it's the one with the head still on it. So pretty cool. Released on Missing Link Records. There's the label, and it has the huge poster still inside, which is here, which is really an interesting collage poster. It's double-sided and it's huge, and so yeah, it's cool. I'm not going to unfold the whole thing. Well, it's already unfolded, but if you know the album, you know the poster. Second album I'll show is Bedtime for Democracy, which I actually personalized to me. Two Damo, East Bay Ray, D.H. Pellegro, and Claus Freeride. And thankfully, I got Jello to sign this. He signed it in the gatefold there. I was pretty stoked. So there you go. It's released on AIM, the old Australian label. So I was pretty stoked to get this signed by all 4 members that played on it. Yeah, I love this record. So good. I remember the very first time I heard it, and it was just like, that "Take This Job and Shove It" is the song that starts it, and it just blows my mind how fucking funny it is, just because it's just like, it's just so fast. Like, this record is so fast, and yeah, it's really, really good. I love this record. This is just such a great album. Bedtime for Democracy. Not my favorite record, but I fucking love that record. An advert for the In God We Trust DVD. I picked this up in Japan. It was on the floor in Japan, hence all the Japanese writing. These postcard things, which I got from Punk Rock Bowling. I actually have the Shepard Fairey poster of this. It's just signed by Shepard Fairey, Jello Biafra, and Glenn Friedman. I actually have one of these. I haven't got it framed yet, and I've been meaning to do so for years now, and it hasn't been done. Give me convenience or give me death, with the flexi disc of and the booklet and everything. So there's your flexi, and then you've got this awesome booklet with all the lyrics and collage photos and everything. So if your copy doesn't have it, you need to buy another copy, a brand new copy, so that you can get this. I remember the very first time I ever got this album. I taped it off a friend first. He had the CD, and then I finally bought my own copy. And oh my god, like, I was so blown away by it. I mean, it's all the singles, right? But I was just blown away by it because I didn't have all the singles at the time, and I'm hearing all these songs on here, and I'm just like, this band just fucking rules. Like, these songs are so good. The Dead Kennedys were just such an amazingly talented band. To do what they did, and just to be so relevant and still to this day just kicks so much ass. Here we go. In God We Trust. I love this record too. This is the I guess the most punk rock that they ever got, if you were to go musically. Because it's, the songs are short, they're fast, the lyrics are incredible. You've got Nazi Punks Fuck Off on here. You've got Religious Vomit, Moral Majority, and all that sort of stuff. Dog Bite, whatever. I mean, the shortest song on here is only 37 seconds long. It gives you an idea of just how fast this record is. It's just really, really solid. I really like that record. I like them all, but, Here is a first ever authorized Dead Kennedys live album, Mutiny on the Bay, released on the Manifesto label. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to this because it's a live record. I'm not huge on live records, but if I find them cheap, I buy them. And I found that cheap, so I bought it. And this one, I think, came out on a record store day from memory. It's the Dead Kennedys Iguana Studios rehearsal tapes, which is cool to hear. I love documentation of really cool shit. And demo tapes, man. How cool. Possibly my favorite Dead Kennedys album is Plastic Surgery Disasters. I love this record a lot. It has my favorite Dead Kennedys song, which is Moon Over Marin. I love that song. What a great way to finish off an album. And I love the intro that Government Flu and, what's the other song on here? Terminal Preppy and Trust Your Mechanic. Oh my God, what a great song. Buzz Bomb, classic. Forest Fire, classic. Winnebago Warrior, classic. Halloween, classic. This whole record just rules. This is a 10 out of 10 album the whole way through. Well, I love everything that Dead Kennedys did. Like, there's no dud records, but yeah, fuck, this is such a great record. Too Drunk to Fuck 12-inch. I love having this on 12-inch because the grooves are spaced apart, so it sounds nice and loud. And it's just really, really good. I bought that from Bank Street Records as well. It was like $6. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, holy shit, Dead Kennedys. I just grabbed it. Couldn't leave it there. Here we go. This is Franken Christ. I have 2 copies of Franken Christ. Both still have the poster. This one doesn't have the poster inside it, though, because it's actually framed, but it's in Adelaide. I remember the first time my mum saw it, she was just like, that's ugly. But Franken Christ, such a good album. Opens up with Super's Good Food. Really good song. You've got MTV Get Off the Air. You've got Goons of Hazard. Really, really solid album. There you go. There is the lyrics and stuff. This one's on Alternative Tentacles, as you can see there. And this one is on the Australian label AIM Records, which you can see down there. AIM Records. And like I said, it's kind of the same, like nothing different except the label has AIM Records on it. This is mint. I bought this one from Goldmine Records, and it was like $20. There is the poster, which we won't show for too long because people get upset by it. Remember, they got into a court case over it, which ended the band. So there we go. Not good. But damn, this album is so freaking awesome. Couple of singles to finish off with. Bleed For Me and a Life Sentence 12-inch single there on Missing Link. And Holiday in Cambodia 12-inch with Police Truck on Cherry Red. I love this single so much. So I got the 7-inch a long time ago, the one with Gordon's name on it. But I wanted the 12-inch because, like I said, with the Too Drunk to Fuck one, the grooves are spaced apart. So it sounds nice and loud and whatever. And then I finally found a copy for $15 and I was stoked. So I was like, getting it. And yeah, so I bought it and I was very, very happy to finally have it on 12-inch. Yeah, very cool. So that is my Dead Kennedys collection. Now, I have seen Jello with his other band, the Guantanamo School of Medicine. I've seen him do spoken word. I've seen the Dead Kennedys with Skip just the one time when I met them and got them all to sign it. Now, that was quite cool just to meet them. And actually, it was good to watch those guys play the songs. I mean, you know, I get it. Skip's in a, you know, Skip was asked to join a band. He had big shoes to fill. And, you know, Skip's a nice guy. Winona Riders were a great band. I love the Winona Riders. Awesome, awesome band. And, you know, I understand that, you know, he's gone into this band. He cops a lot of shit, you know, just for being the front man of Dead Kennedys, you know, and I'm not going to diss him for, you know, for doing what he does. I mean, the Dead Kennedys are going to continue. I mean, we'd all would love to see them with Jello. It's never going to happen, but we'd all love to see it. But because it's not going to happen, people take what they can get. Now, I was asked to review that show, and so I went and reviewed the show. And, you know, it's cool to watch East Bay Ray and Klaus and Pellegro play those songs. Like, it really was awesome to see them play those songs, you know, with songs I've been listening to forever, you know. East Bay Ray's such an innovative guitar player. He's probably never going to be on those greatest guitar player lists, whatever. That they're all bullshit lists anyway. But, you know, he's never going to be on there. But such an interesting guitarist. Like, such a really unique sound. Like I said, hardly any distortion. You know, just making do with what he has and just making it work and making it so perfect. Yeah, so... yeah, but then, you know, you see the Guantanamo School of Medicine and then you see Jello singing those songs and then you're like, oh, you know, it's a whole different world to see Jello and hear Jello singing Dead Kennedy songs, you know. Yeah, you wish that the two worlds could be combined to create the one that we all want, but it's never going to happen. And I have heard rumors that they were offered like stupid amounts of money to reform and stuff, but you know, I get it. You know, like, if you're going to do that sort of thing, you want to do it because it's real and because it means something, not for money. One of the greatest bands of all time, Dead Kennedys, they left their mark. There's a reason why they're so popular. There's a reason why they're so revered, you know, around the world by punks. And, you know, because they just fucking did it. And they did it well. And while they only gave us a handful of albums, you know, they're albums that have stood the test of time. You can put these on today and they still sound just as good as the first time you heard them, way back in the 80s or late 70s, should you have been around then. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, look after each other, go buy some records, buy some Dead Kennedys records if you don't have them already. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.